welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching Channels Television, celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting. This is the news at 10, and here's a reminder of our major stories tonight. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission re-arrests former Minister of Aviation Femi Fani-Kayode. Former House Committee Chairman on Appropriation Abdul Mumin Jibrin files fresh suit against Speaker Yogo Budakatagara and the House of Representatives leadership. Academic Staff Union of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, asks presidency and police authorities to initiate search for their missing colleague. And UN Human Rights Chief describes Syrian city of Aleppo as a slaughterhouse following siege and bombardment by government and Russian forces. Just a quick reminder that all our top stories are on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. And do log on to m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Besides the news and updates, the Channels TV app has an eyewitness feature. We encourage you to use it to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the eyewitness menu and then follow the instructions.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
All right, let's share with you some of those photos that were sent to our eyewitness portal. And if we have them, we begin with this one. There it is, showing a broken fence. Our eyewitness reporter says it was caused by the weight of an electricity pole which is leaning on it. He wants the relevant authorities to fix it. Similar to that is this photo, which shows 3 sticks holding up a fallen electricity pole, and our eyewitness reporter wants it fixed as well. And here are some cows obstructing traffic along the Yola-Gombe Road. Our eyewitness reporter says she was forced to stay in traffic for hours. And this photo shows an overloaded truck along a road in Kogi State. It's carrying items which appear to be hand-woven baskets. Our eyewitness reporter wants traffic regulators to arrest the perpetrators of such acts. And let's end with this one. It's a photo which shows the aftermath of an accident involving a car and a truck. Our eyewitness reporter advises motorists to obey traffic regulations. Thanks a lot for all your pictures.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Let's cross over now to the nation's capital. Here's Linda Akigbe. Linda.
Hello, Ijoma. The European Union has announced plans to expand its partnership with Nigeria beyond the fields of aids and donations. According to the head of the European Union delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Ambassador Michel Arion, the EU is looking at new areas and sectors that would ensure mutually beneficial relations. He was speaking at a meeting with the Minister of Science and Technology, Mr. Ogbonnaya, in Abuja. Our correspondent, Omelogo Nadi, reports.
A two-man team led by the head of the European Union delegation to Nigeria and the ECOWAS, Ambassador Michel Arion, on an official visit to the Minister of Science and Technology, Chief Ogbonnaya. The purpose of the visit, which is the second Ambassador Arion is making to the ministry, is the expansion of ties in new areas and sectors, which the head of delegation says requires proof of its relevance to Nigeria.
We want to expand our cooperation beyond the traditional field of development cooperation, and we want to look at new avenues, new sectors, new domains where we believe the partnership could really make sense with a country like Nigeria. And that is energy, that is climate change, that is transport, that is science and technology, precisely.
With interests also in the area of research and training, the Science and Technology Minister says the expansion of ties is welcome development, especially as Nigeria diversifies her economy.
Help move Nigeria away from a resource-based economy that is solely dependent on commodities. We have seen that that has not been helpful to us. We are determined now to help move away from these commodities by emphasizing a knowledge-based, innovation-driven economy. So we are very happy from what you have said that the EU will be very helpful in this transformation.
The minister also hosted the Portuguese Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, Teresa Ribeiro, and her delegation, whose interests also lie within the expansion of economic and cultural ties with Nigeria, as well as on a convention that will eliminate double taxation in the area of business and investment between both countries. Awolowo, Nadi Channels Television News.
Increasing private sector investments in the non-oil sector and sustaining infrastructural development have been identified as measures to end agitations in the Niger Delta. At a two-day forum held in Imo State, participants proffered solutions to ongoing socio-economic challenges in the region.
It's the 2016 Niger Delta Development Forum holding in Owerri, the Imo State capital, southeast Nigeria. And present in this auditorium are people who have concerns in the development of the region. They are gathered with one objective: facilitating commitment from investors through dialogue and collaboration with a means towards self-sustainability and development.
Which starts today's
Declaring the forum open, the Imo State Governor Rochas Okorota, who was represented by his deputy Eze Madumere, says the 2016 forum will open up focal points that will integrate the Niger Delta and bring about collaborations which will help sustain the region even in this period of economic downturn.
Areas like electricity and other infrastructure development are areas we can collaborate.
Others at the forum are optimistic that the event will shape the awareness and share understanding among stakeholders in critical steps needed to move the region ahead.
And attracting industries to the Niger Delta to tackle the problem of youth unemployment, which is the forefront of the criminal activity that goes along with the legitimate agitations and struggles of the Niger Delta people.
Key stakeholders can start to challenge themselves and start to see how do we look at other resources to develop the region. How do we engage in regional integration?
Some of the professionals and development partners also emphasize that violence and blowing up of oil installations is never the way to solve problems.
Violence won't bring an end to these problems. Yes, there is a deficit of trust and there's a deficit of delivery, which is creating this groundswell. But the true solution lies in dialogue.
If you can create effective economic activity within the Delta, then it means we can actually get some of the youths, restive youths, into employment, get them engaged, they make money, and through that we can stem the issues of violence and the conflicts within the Delta.
From resolutions and recommendations reached here, perhaps a more realistic template for the region may be developed using some indices from the conference.
The police headquarters in Abuja has paraded a four-man gang of suspected kidnappers, including an Army Lance Corporal allegedly involved in the murder of a Port Harcourt-based human rights lawyer, Mr. Ken Asuete. According to the Force Public Relations Officer, Donna Wuna, contrary to an earlier suspicion that Mr. Asuete was killed by hired assassins, the suspects confessed to have kidnapped him for ransom and later murdered him after a few days in their custody.
In the preceding months, efforts have been intensified by our men through intelligence-led policing and due diligence to snuff out criminalities and the hitherto rising trend of deviation from rectitude. In this regard, officers and men of IGP's monitoring unit, Port Harcourt Base, Rivers State, through painstaking investigation, apprehended the hoodlums who kidnapped and eventually murdered Mr. Ken Asuete. It will be recalled that Mr. Ken Asuete, a Port Harcourt-based human rights lawyer, was murdered in cold blood on the 29th of August 2016 along Onicholu Road, Alu, in Ikwere local government area. 4 suspects were arrested in connection with this case. In another development, a syndicate of armed robbers, so kidnappers, on 10th of October 2016, kidnapped one Samuel Ihenacho along Aba Oyibo Expressway and also carted away his Highlander Jeep with registration number RGM 736AA. Subsequently, 4 suspects were arrested on the 15th of October 2016 after one Army Lance Corporal Lucas, where's Lucas, of 28th Brigade Battalion, Bonica Putako, was intercepted driving the victim's vehicle.
And that's all from Abuja. Back to you, Ijoma.
Thanks a lot for that, Linda. 3 years after the disappearance of Professor James Awolowo, members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities at the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, are calling on the President to commission a search team to unravel the mystery. The union is also appealing to the Inspector General of Police and other security operatives to intensify efforts at ensuring the professor's return.
It's exactly 3 years ago that Professor James Bolariwa Olomo, a professor of nuclear and medical physics in the Department of Physics, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, disappeared in his hotel room in Eket, Akwa Ibom State. The professor was said to have left Lagos on the 17th of October 2013 by flight to Calabar and proceeded to Eket via road to consult as a radiation safety advisor to an undesignated oil and gas company, but did not return home. The call for help made ASU convene this special congress on the campus of OAU, where the wife and family members of the missing lecturer, friends and colleagues are present to re-strategize on the next line of action.
To sign a plea to the presidency and to say that they should put together a search committee or a search team, as it has been done for the Chibok girls. Let there be at least a search team that will work for some time, looking for Professor Olomo.
As a department, we have missed Professor Olomo so much because the vacuum he has left so far, which I believe when he comes back he's still going to fill. We have not been able to fill that.
They agree that the disappearance of Professor Olomo remains a mystery to every one of them, calling on well-meaning Nigerians to assist in his search.
If the government can rescue, we know we have information about people they have rescued. They are Nigerians. Professor Olomo is not a less Nigerian compared to those people. And in any case, the professor of nuclear physics, that's a commodity that is very scarce.
Generally, I think we don't value life. And as soon as we realize that and we start to value life, then we'll be more considerate to each other. And we feel what others are going through. We'll be more compassionate to other people's feelings. And that is why these developed countries are developed.
3 years on, and still no clue of the missing professor of nuclear and medical physics. However, there is still a ray of hope in the minds of these family members and colleagues who've gathered here today. What is left is for the relevant authorities called upon to assist in intensifying the search for the missing professor to lay the matter to rest.
Very troubling indeed. Still ahead on the news at 10, the federal government restates commitments to the optimization of the country's Cabotage Act. That's on business. Do join us there.